What's going on, everybody? This is the Functional Gentleman. We're your hosts, Roy Gravis, Bucky Pender, and that's it.
That's it.
There's no producer. Yeah, you and me. Me and you, your mama and your cousin, too. Oh, shit. Almost knocked my iPad over.
Don't break stuff.
I'm sorry. I'm nervous.
Wonder why we can't have nice things.
What are you talking about? We got nice shit. We're legit bosses up in this mother.
We got legit shit.
We got legit shit. We got shit that apparently you can't even get anywhere according to what we found on Facebook, but yet somehow you boys got it.
It ended up on our table.
It ended up on our table and at our offices.
Yeah.
So,
hey.
good week?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
No, yeah.
Yes, no, maybe so. Who
Real
knows?
quick before we dive into too much,
Dive away. Okay.
I want to make a quick PSA.
Okay.
First and foremost, and nobody asked, nobody said anything, nothing. I want to personally apologize to our guest last week, Mike Wright. There was some times where it got a little unprofessional on my end. And he doesn't deserve that as one of our most frequent guests. Also, I want to make sure everybody understands mental health is a real concern, especially men's mental health, because it's harder for some of us to talk about things as guys. That's just how we grew up.
Okay.
I chose to drink a little more than I should have with the news that I had received.
Shock face.
Right. Alcohol is not always the answer.
No, it is not.
My reaction to the situation wasn't perfect. I'm not going to apologize for crying on air. I'm a real person. Shit happens. But I do want to make sure everybody understands if you're going through something and you're a guy, whether it's a loss of a family member, a friend, or if you just suffer from something such as depression or
a puppy.
Anything. I mean, whatever you're going through, it doesn't have to be a clinical disease. It can be anything. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Don't keep everything in. So I just kind of wanted to get that out there. I didn't make the best decisions last week on the show.
This is not how I thought the show was going to start, first of all. But we're good.
Did we have
We're
a good
fine.
time? Yes.
Yes, of course we do. We always
But
do.
I just wanted to put that out there. I don't want anybody to think you should just run and grab a bottle of alcohol and just start chugging.
No, and I mean, we've
get
talked
to the point.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. I mean, everybody copes in different ways. We don't condone using alcohol as a coping mechanism,
Right.
but some people do.
And I stumbled on that, and that's on me.
You're good. I mean, like it's called life, bro.
Yeah.
Stuff happens. Now that we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. This thing keeps falling over. I don't like it much. Where was that? Let me pull up my notes. So today we got twin smokes. Oh, I'm glad I saw that. So I want to talk about how much our viewers do not pay attention to the damn Facebook page at all, because I literally started something and I did like 3 or 4 different posts for it,
Yeah.
and nobody figured it out.
I know. Which I was surprised because you talked about it literally all week.
Yes, I did, because it's Wick Week, baby. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
So for those of you who hadn't figured out my very, very cryptic post that was 3/24/23, if you know, you know, we had people put everything from maker, like in 2 of the groups we follow and we kind of go back and forth with.
Yeah.
We had people talking about Blanton's releases, Maker's Mark releases.
I thought it was pretty funny.
That's where we're at. Something to do with
we're
angels. So
loud.
for those of you who hadn't figured out
Why
my
is this not? Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Keep going.
No, you're good. Somebody said something about
A palindrome, which is something that is the same forward as it is backwards.
See, Mike said something about
And
that.
in a sense,
Southeast
they are
Texas
right.
Bourbon. Yes, they are right, but that's not what I was referring to.
Right.
First
Yeah.
of all, you give your boy way too much credit. Not that smart. But
I didn't realize it either until I read Mike's comment.
Yes.
And then I saw Duff's comment.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, they're right. Because I even went, I did it backwards. I was like, oh.
But that's not what I was referring to, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen. What I was referring to is the fact that that is the exact date that John Wick Chapter 4 drops into the world as we know it.
Is that not a thing?
It should be a thing.
JC.
I know we follow him because, I mean, hell, how else did I get the damn thing on it?
But yeah, so Roy all week was talking about John Wick.
Week. Yes.
It was Wick Week.
It's Wick Week.
So the
We're at the end of
324
Week.
the 324-23 was the release date
It's the
for
release
John
date
Wick
for John
4,
Wick Chapter 4, yes.
which is the longest
yes.
from what I saw.
Do you know that according to a certain
for something, sorry.
YouTube thing that I follow, John Wick has a kill for every day of the calendar year so far in 3 movies, and they're making a 4th one. Yes, so shout out to John Wick. I've referred to myself as a fat John Wick from time to time. That's why I kind of ran with the whole Wick Week thing, because I saw the trailer for the Super Bowl the day after the Super Bowl, which was fascinating to me because I was like, oh my God, yes, I need another John Wick movie in my life. But enough about John.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love
the John Wick franchise. The whole
franchise.
franchise is
I cannot
just
type.
what's amazing to me. Yeah, what are you doing?
Trying to learn how to. My fingers are so
I see a
dang cold.
JX.
My fingers are freezing.
Well, I mean, I tried to turn the heater on. Somebody decided to leave the damn door open.
There it is.
There it is. Bam. Look at him. So you ain't figured out by the fact that my man's fixed to tag him in the comments. We literally are doing the smoke of the week, which is the El Baton from JC Newman Cigars. The JC Newman Cigars sent us a little care package, and they also sent this, which is something else I posted on the damn Facebook page that nobody paid attention to. I feel like Johnny Carson in a minute because I'm literally fixing to swing this. You can't even see the fact that it says functional gentleman on it. I'm
you
pissed
can't.
as shit.
Oh, well.
You know what? I'm pulling a Carson.
Hey, just shout out to JC Newman for taking the time
to
include.
to handwrite.
It's a handwritten letter.
It's not that type shit. Get this out of here.
Look at that.
Get that.
Look at that. I can't even see the comment.
That's a shot right there. Get
Shot
that
heard
out
around
of
the
here.
world.
It says,
You're too funny.
functional gentlemen, we have packaged 2 of our Brickhouse Mighty Mighty Classics, 2 newly revamped El Batons, and 2 of our ultra premium Diamond Crown Maximus cigars, hand rolled at Tabacara A. Fuentes, which I'm sure is Arturo Fuente, rather.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoy these cigars during your podcast. We are happy to extend our brand awareness to your audience. Please tag us in any social media post you share. IG JC Newman Cigar Co., Twitter JC Newman Cigars, and Facebook JC Newman Cigar Co. I guess I could have told you that when you was figuring
probably
that out.
could.
I feel like a dick.
It's okay.
It's okay. So, like
I'm
I said,
excited.
I am too, because it's the newly revamped.
Yes.
Like, I pulled it up first, and I was like, oh shit, the labels don't match. What did they send me? I had to do a little deep diving on my part and found out what was going on. So, just to give a little backstory, this particular one came out in like 1914. It was like one of the original J.C. Newman cigars. This is El Baton is one of J.C. Newman's vintage brands made by our founder, J.C. Newman, back in 1914. This nickel cigar was originally hand-rolled in the Cleveland, Ohio factory with Cuban tobacco. So originally they used Cuban tobacco. Although it was popular for many, many years, the newest machine-made cigars caused the El Baton to disappear from the marketplace in the 20s. So it left. Boom.
Bye.
Gone. Get out of here. In 2008, mind you, we're talking, what, 88 years? Something like that. I had to do math in my head. Math is hard. J.C. Newman's grandsons, Eric and Bobby Newman, brought it back.
Nice.
They said, hey, El Baton's coming back. You can't keep a good man down.
They passed the baton.
They baton. Thank you. This particular one that Bucky and I are going to smoke, because they so graciously sent 2.
Yes.
So shout out to them for that.
Yes.
It is we have the Robusto, which is a 5x54 in ring gauge. It's an Ecuadorian Havana wrapper with a Nicaraguan binder and filler.
Okay.
The awards and ratings. This is a Cigar Aficionado Top 25 for the cigar year of 2012. Cigar Insider has it rated as a 93. Cigar Journal has it rated as a 90. Cigar Snob has it rated at a 91. And Smoke Magazine has it rated at a 94. Pretty damn good numbers.
So if you don't rate this in the 90s,
yes,
you're wrong, sir.
And this is the smallest of the ones. So it comes in a Basilico, a double Toro, and a double Torpedo. The double Torpedo is the biggest. It's 6 1/4 by 56.
Okay.
So I am going to open.
Yeah.
Oh, their little things perforated. How cute is that?
So, if I'm not mistaken, this will be my first J.C. Newman.
It will be your first J.C. Newman, sir.
You're a big fan of J.C. Newman, if I'm not mistaken.
Very much so. I like I started out with the Brick House, Connecticut, way back when we started year one. That was a good one. What are you looking for?
Preferably a V-cut, but I can't really see much in there.
V-cut.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Are you punching, or are you...
I think I'm going to... I don't know what John did with my other V-cut.
I don't know either. It's probably back there.
Well, I found the actual triple jet that John
did you?
had. Yeah, I think I'm going to V-cut too.
Okay. There you go, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, good sir. Thank you. Very much. I like the thing on it. Like I said, I put it in my humidor when I got it.
It's got a decently oily, not anything crazy.
No, it's not ridiculously crazy.
I liked the color scheme on the wrapper.
It kind of pays homage to both your Hampshire Finette Longhorns and
yes.
my running rebs over.
So you're not going to really be able to see it, but it is like a sky blue, a navy blue with
gold.
Gold.
Yes.
So let's light these bad boys
Let's light
up.
this pig. Well, no, it's not a pig. It's a baton. Let's light this baton.
Yeah. Toasty, toasty. I like it toasty.
Well, it's got a good area. You'll like the draw on it. You will like the draw very much, I think. Hell, I don't know. I feel like I got a pretty good grasp on you these days. I hate having to put this stupid number in anyway. See, told you.
You're right. That's very airy.
Very airy.
Very crisp.
Yes, very crisp. I like the way they did it. I like the fact that it's so... It is very good. This is the first baton that I've ever had, by the way. I've had several J.C. Newmans. Like I said, I love the Brick House line, which we'll dive into that on one of our longer episodes because that is a really honking big cigar. That is a 6 1/4 by 60, just to give you a little foreshadowing on that. Yeah, big mamma jamma.
That's massive.
Uh-huh. It's almost as big as Texas Lancero because Texas Lancero is 770.
But not quite as big as the Woody.
not quite as long as the Woody.
Yeah. Okay, so...
I like it. I get a little bit of I get the earth off of it, but I get this kind of creaminess.
There's and I was trying to figure it out because a lot of the times whenever I smell yours,
Yes.
I get like that cedar and then some kind of grassiness, whether that's
Right.
fresh grass, hay. I don't really get that, but it's got a smooth, and I know we typically say that about like a bourbon or a whiskey,
very smooth.
but it's got a smooth and great mouthfeel, which is, I don't know if that's normal to say on a cigar.
It's borderline mouthgasmic. Borderline. It's very good, very airy. Like I said, I love the fact that they literally did this thing perfect when they filled it and rolled it and all that. It's
a really good draw.
got a good draw. It's probably got the best draw I've had in a while.
I can't nail down a flavor profile because there's not a lot of pep. Maybe like a light, almost like a...
So I'm curious on how it goes and when we get into the second, third, because you break cigars down by thirds.
Right.
First third, second third, and final third. So I'm anxious to see when we get about right here. I'm anxious to see how it opens up. I got a feeling...
But I tell you what, back porch sitting
Oh, yeah.
on a warm spring or summer day, this is the smoke.
It is. And I like the fact that it's a Havana wrapper. It's
Yeah.
Havan. Yeah.
because it's like I said, it's just so light. It's airy. It's an easy smoke. It's got a great draw.
Because normally when you think light, everybody wants to gravitate to the Connecticut's,
right?
Because they're a light shade.
But it's not. It's not a. It's not a Connecticut. It's not. But it's not heavy. It's not dark. It's not overpowering. I'm telling you, you sitting on a back porch with a good glass of bourbon and this cigar, that's a day or a night.
It's something. Day, night, midday, whatever you want to call it. Shout out to J.C. Newman. This one actually I'm surprised with this one. Not gonna lie.
I mean, I did, and there's no doubt that I can see why, and I'm not going to try to rate it just because I don't have the cigar aficionado-ishness to me. But I can see why you would put this in that 90.
If I had to rate it on just sheer uniqueness based off of the stuff I've had on my palate, because you know me, I tend to go dark.
Yeah, you're more that full-bodied, dark.
Yes. But for me to be middle of the road with this one and like it as much as I do, if I had to go on leaves, I would probably rate it a 3 3/4, possibly 4 leaf.
Okay. That's a good rating. That's really high.
I mean, it's that good. I would put it up against. Now, don't get me wrong. Am I putting it against Alec Bradley's Magic Toast? I'd have to drink a cup of coffee to answer that question. But for what I've got right now in front of me, I'm digging it. It's a good one. I like the way it does.
And I mean, I feel like it would pair really well with a lot of different whiskeys. Like I would want something maybe a little heavier on the whiskey side, something maybe a little darker or a higher proof. Because I feel like that would be a really good contrast.
Well, it's funny you mentioned high proofs, because I think that's what we've got on the table tonight.
Is it?
I think so. And that is going to segue, because I'm curious, because there's one particular one that I really, really, really think, based off the name of it, this might be a pretty good pairing for us to stumble off on.
So we've talked about this kind of finish.
We have. We've mentioned it a couple of times before.
And it's something I've talked about with you and with Ryan.
Yes.
There's something that I'm really interested in just because of the backstory of it.
Yes.
And I'm interested how they come up with the idea of, why do you think that type of finish pairs really well with a cigar? So much so that they named it Cigar Finish.
That's it. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, it's right here on my side of the table. Good Times Cigar Finish Barrel Strength. Yeah. It is a single barrel bourbon finished in cognac, Armagnac, and so basically it's I had my notes. So it's a French brandy.
Armagnac?
Yes, thank you. Sorry, that's my Southeast Texas draw.
That's my Southeast Texas coming out.
And then some kind of Spanish sherry, which is, where was it? It means scented in Spanish, so it's Oloroso.
Oloroso.
Thank you. That's what I have him around for, folks. I can't pronounce crap.
Okay,
so like I said, we've got both of those.
Just one more time.
Yes.
So this is Good Times Single Barrel Bourbon Cigar Finish. It is finished in cognac, Armagnac, and Oloroso sherry barrels. Just for everybody that was trying to follow along as we worked our way through that.
Fantastic.
So something that's interesting for me, because if you try just for funsies, everybody out there, try Googling Good Times Bourbon and just find something about it. Because if you can, I want to know what you find.
What is it that they say on Taken? Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fun is I've seen a ton of this on like TikTok.
Oh, yes.
And Instagram and the entire whiskey community that I follow. They always seem to have this bottle of Good Times, and I'm like, I've never even seen this, but it's always super cool finishes.
Yes.
Like they've got some crazy finishes. Like I think one of them was like a raspberry something.
You can go on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
They've got and matter of
see
fact,
all
you can
kinds
check
of
them out
stuff.
On Instagram as well. Good Times Bourbon.
Yeah. But I mean, it's all kind of weird, like crazy finishes, and I'm super excited to finally be able to get a chance to try this one. That was it.
That's it right there, yeah. Because they actually have one bourbon on their website as the Hellcat, which you know from being in the car business is a line that Dodge has.
Yes,
Dodge
it
has a
is.
series of Hellcats. The Challenger's a Hellcat. I think they make a Charger. It's a Hellcat as well. I don't think they make a truck that's a Hellcat, though. So this particular one is distilled in Indiana, so we're pretty sure.
Wherever could it come from?
Exactly.
Squib juice.
Bottled by Whiskey Thief Distilling Company, Frankfort, Kentucky. This is barrel number 272, bottle number 208. It is 58% alcohol for volume, which for those of you at home is 116 proof.
Yes.
Hashtag high proof gang.
Hashtag high proof gang.
Yes, so we're going to high proof.
Cool.
We're going to crack first.
Oh, baby.
That's a good one.
Hit me.
I'll hit you. Yeah, I'll hit you with the float over.
Yeah, baby. So this will be our first cigar finish.
Yes, very first cigar finish.
Which is kind of weird considering.
I think I'm going big boy.
You going Fat Bottom Betty?
Fat Bottom Betty, courtesy of Southern Drinking Club
Yeah.
in Houston, Texas.
And an H.
And for the H, that's the only time you'll hear me say that.
I like it.
For
Ooh.
the H.
Ooh.
I like it. I'm not gonna lie. The cork smelled pretty good. Let's
That's
see what
nice.
we got here.
Very winey.
Yes, very wine. I think that's the Oloroso.
Not like.
It's not super winey though.
And but there's like almost zero ethanol because
I know,
most of the
that's what
times,
it made-
especially with the higher proof,
Yes.
or some of the lower price point whiskeys, which I'm not sure what the price point on this, so don't get me lying about that. Because like I said, it's just not. I've never seen it available here, but like I said, I hear about it all the time. I see it on TikTok, which has got me really excited to try this one.
Let me pull it up here real quick.
But there's zero ethanol burn. Like I could almost stick my nose completely into this
I
glass.
know, that's what I did too.
I could swim in this. So yeah, a ton of wine. It's got a little bit of a dry note on the nose, which.
Okay, so
Maybe a little bit of oakiness.
So according to, and I'm just going to read a few. So there is the first one that pops up if you do a search on Google. Chips Liquor has this as $109.99.
Okay.
Is what they.
So we're
have.
talking about approximately $100 bottle.
Yes, I mean a lot of their stuff. Like there's another expression that they have, which is a mango brandy rye.
Okay.
It's $80 a bottle.
Okay.
Their white oak single barrel rye is $100 a bottle. So I mean, they're kind of in the realms of different terminology. They would be a quote unquote super premium.
Yeah.
If you had to break it on that.
But if I'm not mistaken, because what I've seen on TikTok, they're a smaller company. If
Yes,
I'm
they
not
are.
mistaken.
Yes, they are. I think Facebook.
I don't want to speak out of turn because I don't. I wish there was more information.
Right.
So I just tried it. There's got some. It's got a. There's really not a whole lot of that. I was expecting more wine dryness. There's not.
Right.
I want to get a second sip in because usually that first sip kind of shocks your palate
It
into.
really does. I hadn't even taken a sip yet, which is.
It doesn't drink like it's 116 proof.
I can get the cognac off of it. I can get the cognac for sure. It's got a good steady warmth.
Warmth.
I'm not gonna call it a burn.
No, it's a
'cause
warmth. It's
a
like
warmth.
it's literally. So we've said it before, like a Kentucky hug. I mean, this is a warmth, like a warm feeling from a hug.
it's interesting. It's very interesting.
There's some woodiness there. I don't know if I said oak on the nose. I don't know how much it's oakiness on the palate, but there's definitely a woodiness there. Maybe a little bit of like almost a flat tea.
I'd get that. Not, I'd hit that, so don't get confused.
Oh, okay.
It is good though. I will give it that. It is good.
Man, I think they knocked this out of the ballpark.
I think they did pretty good with it. I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to pull up their stuff on and type one-handed at the same, or one-fingered rather.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm curious.
So the gentleman that I corresponded with on email and in a Facebook post is a guy by the name of Nick Ellingsworth.
Okay.
I tried to reach out to Nick, see if he had any kind of things he wanted us to talk about with it. Apparently, due to the time strength that I got this in, because I literally didn't even know this thing was showing up.
Yeah.
You know, literally so I'll read you and it wasn't even in the cigar finish one. It was in just a regular cigar batch. And I said, my thing was, when was it? Oh, crap. Let me see where it was. Yeah, so I put cigar batch whiskeys have always intrigued me. Haven't done a review on any of them yet. And Nick Ellingsworth's response was in due time. Well, apparently in due time meant pretty quick.
He knew it was showing up.
Yeah, so.
Yes. So we've talked about doing pairings before and wanted to kind of try to do like the Buffalo Trace cigar with the Buffalo Trace bourbon, et cetera, et cetera. I tell you what, I would highly recommend
This is a pretty good pairing, yes.
And a Good Times cigar finish.
Yes, a J.C. Newman Baton, El Baton, the revamped one. Make sure it doesn't have the cursive writing on the band. It's got to have the block writing.
Oh, okay.
That's the biggest difference that I found between the two bands. But yeah, it's good. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty good one. I was shocked when it showed up. I literally showed up to Functional Gentleman HQ and found this really big box that had Fragile on it, and I had no idea who it came from until I opened it. And of course, it said Roy Bucky, and then it had the address. So yes,
dude, that's good.
it is pretty good.
That is
like
good.
It. It's good. This made my hair. I have to make a trip to Mount Bellevue tomorrow. Not gonna lie.
Man, I like that. That could be really dangerous too, because it does not drink 116 proof. It is super smooth. Like we said, a warmth all the way down, not a burn.
I get the cognac for sure. I mean, the cognac's there.
I get more of the.
I get the wine dryness, just a little though. It's not super dry,
right?
But it is a dry just a little bit because it does kind of dry the sides.
A little bit. I got more of that winey dryness on the nose.
Yeah.
More so than the palate. But
the finish, and what was that other stuff? The A word. What's that?
The A word.
Yeah.
Armagnac.
Yeah, Armagnac. Thank you.
Yeah. I've never tasted Armagnac, so I couldn't even tell you.
No, that makes two.
But you said it was
It's a French brandy, from what I understand.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's got kind of that. I mean, that's a good mixture because wine and brandy are going to be lean a little more fruity.
Here's not to steal your bourbon fun facts thing, but bourbon fun fact: barrel char may be present in this non-chill filtered bourbon.
We got some Pop Rocks in there.
I don't know. Do we have some Pop Rocks?
That's what we call them, adult Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks. I like it. It's good, man. I'm like I said, it was a big surprise when it showed up. I called Bucky instantly, and he was still at work, and he's like, dude, I'm trying to walk out the door. And I was like, oh, real quick.
Golly.
This showed up, and he's like, what?
What?
I was like,
I had no idea.
I think we're doing this tonight. And he's like, okay. It's a good color.
It is. It's a good coloration.
It reminds me almost coloration-wise, it almost reminds me of Hennessy as far as the color.
Yeah.
It's very cognac-ish on the color.
I don't have very much left in my cup, but
That's because I got a little bit more, and my cup's a little bigger, so let me try this shit.
It's easier if you put your hand behind it so that it doesn't.
That's what I'm trying to do. Let's see if it shows up. I'm watching it on the playback as you guys are, so I'm just kind of holding it there.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's pretty.
It's pretty.
It's pretty amber. It's a golden amber hue, I would call it.
I tell you what,
pleasantly surprised.
If there's any way that the Functional Gentleman can make a trip to Frankfort, Kentucky,
yes,
and do a barrel pick on this one,
oh, I would love it.
Shout out Good Times.
Yes,
God dang, I was really skeptical just for the sheer fact that you see these weird ass flavors that they put on their bottle.
Yes,
and we'll get a little bit more into that on the next one that we're about to do.
Yes,
but I'm like, you can genuinely find like Neapolitan and pancake and strawberry shortcake and. Like, they've got some crazy and I want to backtrack and I want to apologize to Good Times. Not flavors. This is not. Let me repeat that. This is not a flavored whiskey.
No
finishes.
Yes.
That's what I meant was finishes.
Yes.
It's weird, crazy finishes.
It is that, man. It is that.
So
I mean,
I'm gonna leave a little bit in there. That's freaking good. I'm surprised.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
It's something completely different, and it is distilled in Indiana,
Yes.
like you said. So take that
for what it's worth.
squib juice.
Yes.
But I tell you what, they're doing some freaking awesome things.
Yeah, check out the back of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if the guys and gals at home can see that. The back of this bottle is a crazy.
It's a crazy
artwork.
sticker.
And plus, what it says on it is what makes it even
finest
crazier.
Kentucky, no BS.
No BS in them.
No BS in them. Master of barrels.
Wait a minute. I have to tell you how to say that, but
Yeah.
you can't. You can say words like Armagnac.
Oh,
and
so this is kind
Oloroso.
of cool.
Okay.
So let me get into this first.
Get into that.
Same thing, distilled in Indiana.
Yep.
Good Time single barrel straight bourbon.
Yep.
This is called Toasted Madagascar Vanilla Caramel.
Interesting. That's a mouthful too.
So this is whiskey finished in a toasted white oak barrel, Madagascar vanilla extract barrel, and ex-bourbon caramel barrel.
My head itches.
So here's a cool thing about this one. It actually says a little bit more than assuming what yours said. I don't know if you read the back of your bottle or not.
All mine has the big Surgeon General's warning on it.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
So
All
this
my
one,
stuff's on the front.
36% rye,
Okay.
114 proof,
Okay.
6.5 year MGP.
Nice.
So it's got an age statement. It tells you somewhat what the mash bill is. MGP does have a 36% rye.
Okay.
So they call it their higher rye bourbon.
That was a high rye. That's very high.
And it comes in at 114 proof. So I'm assuming, based off of what I could see on like their Facebook, their Instagram,
Right.
And be sure to give them a follow at Good Times Bourbon. All of theirs are single barrel selections.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. But I want to pop this one open.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious of how much vanilla comes out of this one.
And they posted this exact bottle that we're doing on February 10th.
Yes,
on their social
I did
media.
see that.
And the same day they did the cigar
Oh, okay.
finish. But
Nice.
the funny thing about it is theirs just says cigar.
Right.
My label says cigar finish on
Oh,
it.
very nice.
So interesting.
You ready?
Sure.
Maybe. Think about it for a second. Not as, but
Yeah.
still nice.
It's a nice one. I like it.
So what was do you remember the one that we had with Mike,
That's good.
that was super vanilla?
That was the it was last week, the
Yeah.
Angry White Oak from Wild Hair Distillery that's up in the barrel right now.
Is that the one that was super vanilla?
Yes.
Okay. So that was
The one that we described as dessert in a glass. Yeah.
That was the most vanilla I've ever tasted on literally anything. Make sure it seals.
pull that one dude around,
Yeah.
slam it. We don't have big fat bottom glasses for that, so
Please don't slam your Glencairn.
hey, if that one dude Ryan wants to send a set though, by all means, send away.
Yeah. Check
I'll
out
use
the
them.
Whiskey Wisdom glasses. They're really awesome, and they got big old thick bottoms.
They're really expensive too.
Yeah, they are.
Really expensive.
All right. Okay, so for me, more classic bourbon notes on the nose.
Yes.
Little more, like I can't get my nose all the way in it, so a little
more ethanol.
Little more ethanol. I can't. Okay, so it is a hint, like it is of vanilla.
Yep.
Like it is literally just a boop.
This one to me got more of a burn.
So that's I'm assuming that's more of that rye spice. It's got a lot more of that rye spice.
But it finishes caramel.
Super caramel, on, the
caramel on the finish.
Like sitting here talking to you
Yes.
as my breath goes in and out.
Super caramel.
Straight caramel.
Yes.
Um,
I'm not gonna lie,
dude, that was really good too.
It's really good, but I like the cigar one better.
So
That's just me. I like
way
the cigar
smoother.
one. Yes.
Doesn't burn, doesn't.
Right.
But again, you kind of add in that rye spice, that
Yes.
kind of thing. And wine barrels always, for me at least, give you more of that fruity dryness.
Makes sense. I get it.
But I'm impressed.
I'm impressed.
Now I see why this is such a big deal on TikTok.
Not only that, shout out to what they. I don't know if y'all can see that.
They sent us a Glencairn. How cool is that?
I'll leave it right there for a little bit, not for the whole show, but I'll leave it right there just. For
Yeah,
a little bit.
we don't want somebody going.
God no, because that literally says "Good Times Bourbon" on it. It is a custom etched Glencairn.
And who was the gentleman you were speaking with?
Nick Ellingsworth.
Yes, shout out Nick. Shout out Good Times Bourbon.
I friended him on my personal page.
Did you?
I sent him a message trying to figure out stuff on this. Hopefully he's watching.
I really like y'all. Everybody that watches this,
really good.
and you know me. I'm a huge researcher.
Yes.
Like I want to know every little thing
and this
about.
Killed you.
Like I had my
This
phone going, my
killed you,
iPad going. I got on TikTok. I got on Facebook, Instagram.
Pages on the iPads because I have like 3 different pages pulled up on mine.
Like I wanted to find everything I could, and there's just not a lot. Because check out whiskeythief.com.
Yes.
Because this is bottled by Whiskey Thief Distilling Company.
Yes.
So shout out to their parent company.
Yes.
Go to their website, whiskeythief.com. They have you can schedule tours, you can schedule tastings. I mean, they don't have a lot of information on their website about the bourbon itself, but it's a really elegant website. The tasting room looks really nice. I mean, it looks like a really good experience. And kind of like you were talking about, we've built a little bit of a relationship with Longhorn Liquor.
Yes.
Like
yes,
how fun would that be for the Functional Gentleman and Longhorn Liquor to be one of, if not the first in the state of Texas?
So while you're on there, if you go to gtbourbon.com, you can get all of Good Times' merch. They have one hoodie that is ridiculously funny, and I'm actually going to read it.
Okay.
It says, "Fuck allocations, pick barrels."
Yes.
On the back of this hoodie.
Yes.
It's legit. I like it a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's all their merch.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I couldn't find a Good Times website.
Yeah. That's the only thing you can find on. There's the hoodie I'm talking about, by the way.
See, I
says
like
it across
that.
the back.
Because we've been talking about doing for the presidential election, kind of an election type run of shirts.
Yes.
And one of mine is one of the things I've got on there is something along the lines of end allocation.
Yes.
Bringing the bottles back or whatever it
Yes.
is. So that's a big one for me. I may or may not end up with that one. So I'm gonna do this real quick. So if you want to kind of keep on keeping on.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a surprise when it showed up. I mean, I did have an email conversation with Nick back on I think around the same time they posted the picture, like February 10th, and for this to show up today, literally 7 days later,
Right.
That's legit.
No, shout out to Good Times.
Yes.
Shout out to whiskeythief.com, Whiskey Thief Distilling Company.
Yes.
I was skeptical. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
I think everybody was, because the fact that number one, we couldn't find a whole lot of stuff on it,
and
number two, the fact that what we did find was on TikTok.
Right, exactly. That's the only place I can really find any kind of in-depth people trying.
I'm curious. You and Ryan, that one dude Ryan, interact a lot. Has Ryan done this yet?
From what I've seen, no. And I've never taken the time to ask, just because it's something I'm not super familiar with, other than seeing it on social media.
We may have to.
So maybe
that's hook Ryan up if he ain't got any yet.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I think this is a bottle the people of Texas need to get in their hands.
Yes, especially the cigar finish one. I like. Now, don't get me wrong; both of them are good. I lean more toward the cigar finish if I'm picking one. And we've talked about this when we did the rabbit hole thing. You gravitated more towards High Gold. I gravitated more towards Cave Hill. And
I think it's going to be the same way on this one.
Yeah.
Super smooth.
Yes.
Super good.
Very good.
On the cigar finish.
Yes.
But there's I'm still somewhat what I consider new in the rye game. But with what I've seen and tried and had with the higher ryes.
Yes.
And in addition to that sweetness you get from the vanilla, the caramel, I do kind of lean more toward, and I like a little bit of that burn.
Yes.
A little bit.
I do too. But
I don't lean as often as high proof as you do, but I do enjoy a good single barrel at barrel proof. So For me, I'm going to go with this toasted Madagascar caramel vanilla caramel. That's I think that's the longest name I've ever had to read on a whiskey.
Just wait.
But so shout out to these guys. Shout out to JC Newman. Great cigar tonight. Great whiskey tonight. Awesome pairing. If you have an opportunity and you
Very
can pair
awesome
the Good Time cigar finish with the Baton, I tell you what, you're not going to be disappointed. I think mine's out.
I would like to see this with a gatekeeper too. I think Alec Bradley's gatekeeper would be another good one that would go along with it. But right now, this JC Newman Baton, or El Baton, whatever you want to refer to it as, the revamped one with the non-cursive band. Make sure it's non-cursive.
So, I would be kind of curious. They say it's revamped. Was there a timestamp on the revamp, or?
Let me go back into it.
Because I'm curious if the cursive style, I guess version whatever, let's call it 2.0, and this is 3.0.
Yeah.
Is that one still on the market? Like, if I walked into a humidor, would I more often find the cursive one, or are they strictly at the block letter Baton at this point? You know what I mean?
So I can tell you right now, Cigar International has where you can purchase I'm assuming based off of the picture, it is the 1.0.
Okay.
If you get the same size we had tonight, which is the Robusto 5x54, $167.99 for a box of 25.
Okay.
Not bad on pricing wise. If you get a 5-pack in that same size, it's $35.50. So let me do some quick math real quick. Calculator.
So you're talking about $7-8 a stick.
$7.10.
So let's call it $8.99, because if you're buying a single, there's going to be a little bit more markup on it. So let's call it $8.99, $9.99 stick.
Yeah. So
if you buy a single,
$8 and $9 stick.
So for let's call it $120, you can have a really good cigar, a really good single barrel bourbon, and have a really good night.
Yes.
With some buddies.
Yes. I like it. I like the fact that J.C. Newman took the time to actually handwrite a letter.
That's
Nobody
awesome.
does that anymore.
No.
It's usually printed.
Right. I mean, just in general, nobody sends letters, period.
Right.
So, I mean, the fact that they took the time to handwrite one, I think that's awesome. I'm super excited. Hopefully, we can do a lot more with them in the future.
Yeah.
I know we've got 2 more that we'll be doing on the show.
The Brick House Mighty Mighty and the Diamond Crown Maximus.
The Diamond Crown, I was kind of, just from you hearing the name of it, I was pretty interested in. And then whenever you read that and you said it was their, I guess, super premium.
Ultra premium.
Ultra premium.
Yes, ultra premium.
I mean, that's even more exciting. I'm excited to try everything they have at this point. I think they're making a really good cigar, and that's coming from somebody that doesn't smoke a ton of cigars.
Right.
I mean, I gravitate strictly to that. The Drew Estate.
Yeah, the Drew Estate.
Fire Cured.
yeah, the Kentucky Fire Cured.
Yeah.
The KFC.
I mean, that's most of the time. That's just it. It's easy for me to grab. I know I enjoy it.
Right.
So somebody like JC Newman to step up and say, here, y'all both review these and y'all both do these. I'm a fan.
Got you. I like it.
I like what they're
Good
doing.
stuff. I like what they're doing too. It's a good one. Like I said, it's right up there. I'm gonna have a hard time when I do my end of the year with all the
I'm telling you
the stuff I'm doing, because this is just the tip of the iceberg, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we've got stuff that's I can't really talk about some of it yet until it shows up.
Right.
But we've got some stuff that once it shows up, it'll be some good stuff.
Super excited.
Yes, super duper excited.
And thank you one more time to Good Times Bourbon.
And Nick Ellingsworth for sure.
And Nick Ellingsworth. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's a good one.
And let me get this out of the way real quick, because I feel like I need to start getting better at announcing this.
Yes.
Or maybe we need to just add it into somewhere. We did receive both the cigar and the whiskey tonight for free.
Yes.
From the manufacturers or distillery or whatever you want to call it.
From the people who make it.
We are not paid for our review. Our reviews are strictly our opinions only. And in no way, shape, or form did us receiving these items for free influence our review.
No, they did not.
We've said it before, that's our goal, is to be 100% honest with 100% of our friends.
They do have a QR code inside there.
Very nice. And
I may have to check that out later.
I mean, because that's what the friends of the show expect.
Oh yeah,
We're going to tell you what we think.
Brutally honest with it.
And I would hope the distilleries and the cigar manufacturers that send us these items want us to be 100% honest with them too.
You would be surprised, actually, and you see the emails. I mean,
right.
Well, I'm not gonna lie.
I see the email. I am a part of the email.
Yeah, I'll pull the curtain back a little bit. There's some people that have asked, "Hey, if we have to pay you for this, we're not doing it." I'm like, "No, you
please don't."
No,
I would rather you not.
All we want you to do is send us product.
Yeah, no,
That's it.
I don't even want you to send us product.
Yeah.
If you feel like
Right.
you can send us product and you want us to review it, then you send it.
And so far, we've been there's been some.
I'll say
some
this.
good feedback.
There's been some really, really good feedback. Even and the friends of the show will say this with us, and we're not afraid to admit it. We're not the 150,000 follower, 1 million follower. We're not. We're not that group. But I tell you what we've gotten, the response we've gotten from the distilleries and cigar manufacturers that we've reached out to has been amazing. And they stand behind their product enough, and they believe in something like this that we're doing enough to send us these items.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and I feel like we owe it to everybody we know and everybody that watches the show and these manufacturers for us to be completely honest. Yeah. And I love the fact that they've been so great.
Oh, they've been phenomenal, dude.
And even the ones that are like, well, you're not quite there yet, have been super, most of them have been super encouraging. Like,
right.
Hey, keep us in the loop, keep emailing us, let's stay in touch.
Yeah.
And then we can get to that point, which is great for us.
Oh, yeah.
I love the constructive criticism. I want to know where we're at. I want to know how people feel.
Right.
So that we can grow as a show.
Because, I mean, let's be honest. We're not Fred Minnick.
No, we're not. We're not the Whiskey Tribe.
Bourbon Junkies, the Whiskey Tribe.
We're not there yet.
None of
We
those
know
guys.
that. But for a company like Good Times, a company like Rabbit Hole, J.C. Newman, who's
Wild
a
Hair
player in the game.
Last week's
Wild Hair.
Wild Hair being a micro distillery.
They didn't have to do that.
No.
In no way, shape, or form did they have to send us any of their bottles because they probably don't have a crap load to just send out.
But they did.
But they did. And they were a great part of our Super Bowl show. It was Arizona focused.
Yes.
They're doing really great things. That's exciting.
I love what they're making. I'm not gonna lie.
I do too.
Because I looked back.
But I don't want to take the focus off of this week's.
Right.
We are talking about Good Times. We are talking about J.C. Newman.
Yes.
But yes, thank you to everybody that has given us great words of encouragement, has sent out samples for us to try. We're really excited to keep moving forward, and we're really excited to grow the show. Anyways, before it gets too late into the evening, we do have a topic for the night.
We have a lot of topics.
Spring into spring with the gentleman.
Yes, we're spring.
Spring is right around the corner.
It is.
So it's super cold tonight. We've both been freezing.
Oh my God.
Luckily, the heaters finally kicked in, and we're up to 55 from 46.
Yes.
I think it was earlier.
Somebody left the door open.
Shh, don't tell nobody.
No, don't tell nobody.
I was not raised in a barn. So spring is right around the corner. You know, ish. I did live in a barn for a little while. Don't ask. So spring is right around the corner.
Yes,
Next
it is.
week is actually supposed to be really nice. It's like 80, low 80s.
Yes.
No rain in the forecast. Both of our yards are
Yes.
freaking mud holes.
I had to put down a brick at the door.
So with spring around the corner, there's a lot of spring sports that are starting up. But something that's still kind of new is all of these spring football leagues.
Yes.
And I'm curious of your thoughts with the XFL, let's call it XFL 3.0.
Yes.
Because this is
that's
now the
where we're at.
third iteration. Because it started with Vince McMahon in the early 2000s.
Yes, with the he hate me and all that good
Right.
stuff.
I remember the He Hate Me jersey was probably the most popular seller.
I wanted that thing so bad.
And then 5 years ago, no, it wasn't even that long ago. It was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, 2020,
something along those
2021,
lines.
somewhere in there.
It came back again.
Yes, it did.
And they had outdoor stadiums and all of this jazz. Well, then The Rock steps in, Dwayne
Yes.
Johnson, and he says, "I'm buying this thing and I'm gonna reboot it."
Yep.
And it took him a year
Yeah, bro, a little over a year. I think it was like 14 months, like a year and 2 months.
to get this thing off. And they're kicking off this weekend.
Yes,
Tomorrow
they are.
starts the first 2 games, and then they have 2 more games on Sunday.
Yes.
Is The Rock the answer to the XFL?
God, I hope so. I hope it gives it a little bit of, I hope it kind of, with The Rock having it, I hope it takes a little bit of the cheesiness that McMahon put on it when he did it back in the 90s.
Right, because there were storylines.
Yes, there were storylines.
There was the crazy names on the jerseys.
Yes.
He wanted the WWE in.
Yes, he did.
The football.
And I'm glad The Rock is taking the focus away from that. And I'm glad the last.
He seems to be making it very serious.
The last group kind of did that too, because I mean, you had Oliver Luck, who was the commissioner of it, which is Andrew Luck's father.
Correct.
I think he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Maybe I'm not 100% sure.
I think so.
That.
I know he had a big thing in the Europe.
Yes,
NFL or whatever.
Europe,
yeah. But he's come out. He's got this super clean logo. They're all over ESPN.
Yes.
I think ESPN's covering all the games.
ESPN, they have a contract.
They've
with
got
ESPN.
every team has their own stadium.
Yes.
I mean, they're trying. It seems like to me they're trying to be a legit alternative.
Yeah, I feel they are. I would have, of course, the only drawback I have is with the Houston franchise. I wish they'd have put them in the Dome.
I don't know what's ever going to happen.
I wish they'd have put them in the Astrodome.
I wish they would do something with the Astrodome,
put them in the
and I think
Astrodome.
that would be awesome.
I think that'd be legit.
If you want this thing to be legit, get a legit stadium.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They have a good deal with the University of Houston. They have their stadium that the Houston Roughnecks use, which, hey, shout out to them.
Yeah.
I know the Arlington Renegades use Globe Life Park, which is not Globe Life Field is where they're at now.
Is it?
Globe Life Park is where they were at, which used to be the ballpark at Arlington.
So I've got a quick question for you, because I said this is their third attempt.
Yes.
And hopefully so, but I'm curious, will there ever be a spring football league or an alternative period that can have any kind of staying power with the NFL?
I think so, but unfortunately, I think it's going to take, and God forbid, I don't know this. This is not watching any of the XFL games whatsoever from the new brood of it. I watched some in their last reincarnation. I think, honestly, for it to have sustainable staying power, you're going to have to take the USFL and the XFL and merge them. I would like to see some of the cities, because, like, let's be honest, there's cities that the USFL has that the XFL doesn't.
Right.
New Orleans, Birmingham, Michigan.
I like the idea of putting teams in places there's not.
I do too.
Like I think Oklahoma should have a professional team.
I would agree with that.
I like the idea that Birmingham has a professional team.
I do too. And I like
big markets that can handle bring football back to St. Louis. Yeah. They've got the Battlehawks.
Well, they are back, actually. But they're on the road the first week.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, find these markets that can sustain a team.
Well, and I feel they did that because, I mean, let's be honest, two of the teams that we're going to talk about in this XFL portion of this, the San Antonio Brahmas playing in the Alamo Dome there in San Antonio, and the St. Louis Battlehawks. Those are two football markets. I mean, there's been multiple discussions in.
I mean, look at UTSA.
Yes, UTSA's got a big following right now.
Their football team has come along.
Yes,
they've got a huge following.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's definitely a market for, and they've already got the San Antonio Spurs. Yes. So, I mean, there's a professional sports market there.
Well, yeah, because there's minor league baseball there, too. A lot of people don't know the San Antonio Missions.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's and St. Louis, I know St. Louis misses football.
Oh, God, yes, you know they do.
I mean, and you've got the St. Louis Cardinals.
You know they do. When the Rams bolted for LA.
Right. I mean, you got to think I feel like you need to think harder about where you put these teams. Does Seattle need the Sea Dragons? I don't think so.
I don't think they do neither, but I kind of get why they did it, because I think Dwayne's big dream goal is to basically have a XFL team everywhere there's an NFL team.
And that wouldn't be a bad idea.
That would not be a bad idea at all.
Those fans
and
can
maybe
legitimately root for something.
And maybe vice versa.
Round.
Maybe the San Antonio Brahmas
I can't believe that name. Can we talk about that for a second?
The fact that come on.
Is he super conceited to the point that he named a team after his?
I don't know if he named it, though. That's the thing.
Did he, though?
I mean, he might have had a little influence, been like, hey, if y'all want to, y'all can name it the Brahmas, because, I mean, it's Texas. You're right down the road from UT, which is the Longhorns. I mean,
I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. your thought process
No, I
there.
mean it's. I think it's great. I mean, I love it. I love the fact that he literally went and put a team in Vegas.
Right. Vegas needs
honest,
more pro
Vegas
sports.
Vegas needs more pro sports. I'll
Yes.
get it out in a minute. That's that dryness coming in.
Right. So here's my question. We've had the AAF. We've had USFL, which is making they're
going into season 2.
They're going into season 2, and they're making they've got legit commercials that I've seen over the last few days. They're legit.
Yes,
and they're good looking commercials.
Yes.
Do I like the USFL? Not a big fan.
I like it just because of the fact that they literally went with, especially in the Houston franchise, Houston Gamblers. They went back to the old.
But I don't
USFL.
like the name Houston Gamblers
because there's no
because you
gambling
can't
in Texas.
gamble
Yes,
in Texas.
I get that.
I watch all of my social media friends gamble on sports.
Yes.
With FanDuel and
Yes,
DraftKings and all of these things, Barstool,
and
I can't do it.
That.
But my franchise here is named the Houston Gamblers.
I get it.
No thanks.
I get it, man.
Move on.
I get it.
How do they get the big names? Because I think that's going to be a major topic for them staying around.
As far as big name players,
College players.
Well, I think the good thing about
How do you draw that away from? Can you draw that away from the NFL at all?
I don't think you draw that away from the NFL. I think you take what the NFL, because let's be honest, the NFL you only get 278 picks, I think.
Okay.
Total draft.
Right.
And let's be honest, how many college football programs are there floating around?
160.
You're going to get some good players that are not going to get drafted in the NFL. You're going to. I mean, that's just a given.
Okay.
Do
you schedule your draft shortly after the NFL draft?
I would think so.
To try to steal that talent away, because the NFL will turn around and sign a whole bunch of undrafted free agents.
Yes, they will.
Shout out to my name, undrafted free agent. But they will. They'll turn around and sign a bunch of them to their practice squad.
They will. You're right. I can't argue.
How do you draw that to you? How do you get to the point where you can offer bigger contracts?
You're going to have to do some creative marketing. And you're going to have to get some really big sponsorship deals.
Because let's talk about this for a second, since I'm bringing up big names. And these are a few that I wrote down, and I could go on because you know me, I'm a huge college football fan, period.
Yes.
So, A.J. McCarron.
Yes.
Josh Gordon.
Yes.
Vic Beasley was a stud at Clemson and a first-round draft pick.
Yes.
Marquette King, the punter.
Yes.
The former punter of the Raiders.
Yes.
Who's a punter. Let's face the fact that he's a punter and a big name.
Yes.
D'Eriq King, the quarterback formerly of Houston, transferred to Miami.
Yes.
Great talent, too little, too not
small,
not for the NFL.
Yes.
He's got a ton of speed, got a good arm, but he's never going to make it in the NFL.
I got you.
D'Eriq King was a huge name in college.
Yep.
Puka Williams was a running back out of Kansas. That was a ton of fun to watch. Max Borghi is a load to bring down. He played at Washington State.
Okay.
Paxton Lynch is the failed attempt from John Elway.
Okay, Carson Wentz, John Elway, that type. Because Paxton Lynch and Carson Wentz went to the same school, did they? North Dakota State?
I think so. I didn't write that down.
I think they both did.
But Paxton Lynch, he's like 6'7". He's a prototypical quarterback.
Yes.
John Elway drafted him for the Broncos' future, blah, blah, blah. He failed everywhere he went.
Right.
But that's a big name.
Okay.
Kalen Ballage was a running back for Miami. Had a good year. Disappeared. Those are like the names that I could find that people would recognize.
So let me ask you a hypothetical question, okay? So, and it's really not hypothetical. There's a little bit of backstory to it. So the University of Texas had 5 guys selected to go to the combine.
Okay.
Like got invites. Hey, we want you here. Obviously, Bijan Robinson is the big draw out of that group.
Clearly.
But I'm curious on your thoughts. What happens if Roschon Johnson doesn't like where he's drafted at? Does he possibly go to the XFL? Because, I mean, Roschon's kind of a lot of the things I've seen, Roschon Johnson is a day 2 pick from what I've seen.
If Roschon goes day 2, I'd be pretty surprised. Because day 2 is rounds 2 through 4?
Yes.
3, 4?
2, 3, and I think 4. I think you're right on that. I think it's 2, 3, and 4.
Or
maybe it's 3, 4, and...
Okay, so his draw is he's got speed.
Yes.
He was a backup running back at a major university.
Yes.
Is that a day 2 pick?
I don't know, man. I really
Especially
don't.
with some of the running backs you can get in the second ish round.
Yeah.
Is Roschon a day 2 pick, or is that like a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick?
I don't know. That's the thing.
And if he falls that far, and I don't know what the contracts are once you get to that point, I could not tell you.
Right, I couldn't
But
either.
let's say Dwayne Johnson shows up at Roschon's house and he's like, "Hey, I know you're going to get $50,000 for being that choice.
Yeah.
What if I can offer you $100,000?
Yeah.
Would you come to the XFL?" The NFL will offer you more opportunity.
Yeah.
Because if all you need is for 1 or 2 guys to get hurt,
But I mean, hell, let's
and
be
you're
honest,
all of a sudden
okay?
a star.
The XFL can also launch his career. Prime example, PJ Walker.
Right.
PJ Walker was a stud
And look at him.
for the Roughnecks.
He's the backup quarterback
And
for Carolina.
Yeah,
And he's had a few. He's gotten a few starts.
Yeah.
But there's, dang, I can't remember his Turpin. Last name is
Yes.
Turpin. He
Okay.
now plays for the Cowboys.
Right.
He played in the. I could not tell you if it was the USFL or the XFL, but he was like one of the top threats, and he had an amazing season.
Yeah.
And he got signed to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
So what? There's that.
It's going to be very interesting to see how everything kind of shakes
You know what I
out.
mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Because let's say Roschon goes to the. Let's just say hypothetically, Roschon says, "Okay, you know what, Rock? I'll take your $100,000. I'll go be a beast in the XFL
Yeah.
for a season or two,
Yeah.
maybe." Tears it up, rushes for 1,800 yards, 13 touchdowns, MVP of the league.
Yep.
NFL turns around and says, "You know what? The Houston Texans want him. We're going to offer him a 5-year, $25 million contract, whatever it is. I don't know the number.
Got you.
I'm not turning that down.
No, and I don't think anybody's expecting Roschon to do it.
But you're
I'm just-
losing that star power in the
Exactly.
XFL, and now you're just back to the league that has Keanu Reeves at quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, but you understand what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're saying. I mean, you literally have like Johnny Utah back there that
Right.
can play for anybody he wants in the XFL. But
Exactly.
but that's all he's going to be is an XFL
So
quarterback.
that's my main concern is how do you keep that star power?
And I don't know. I mean,
Because if AJ McCarron is the face of your league,
I mean, they could have went worse though. Let's be honest.
yeah,
They could have went way worse.
I'm just saying. I couldn't find any big names in the USFL.
You've got me curious. Damn it! I hate when you do this.
I don't know if you looked at any of the USFL rosters because I know they don't start till April.
Right.
But I could not find any big names. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Let me see.
There were a few that I recognized from being a college football fan, but it wasn't like, ooh, gotta write that one down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get exactly what you're saying.
So that was a going back to this Madagascar. I'm going to
That's
Madagascar.
Not right at all.
Cue the zebra from the cartoon.
My shit is coming up in Chinese by typing
Ooh.
USFL.com.
Oh yeah. So one thing I will say though, how about Bob Stoops? That dude will literally coach anywhere at this point. Like he is just excited to be a coach. I think he loves it.
Apparently, Houston Gamblers have a new coach.
Yes,
a guy by the name of Curtis Johnson from
yes.
the Saints staff.
Yes.
Yes.
I did know that. I'm gonna step out real
You
quick.
step out, go ahead. I'm trying to pull rosters and stuff right now. Where am I at? Here we go. Let's try this menu. Let's go. Well, let's check out our Houston Gamblers, see if we can find a roster on these boys. Here's a roster right here. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of half these guys. Who's their quarterback? I don't see it. JoJo Ward. That sounds familiar. JoJo Ward. I don't know that guy at all. Where else? Montez. Okay, I think I've heard it. Yeah, he's from Boise State. Okay, I have heard of that dude. Where's their other guy? I don't see anybody. Yeah, there's nobody on here. Their biggest notable. Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking at the Gamblers roster right now,
Right.
and they've got the wide receiver Joshua Moore out of Texas.
So it's funny
They got another wide out of Hawaii, JoJo Ward.
Oh, I remember JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo
I think he
Ward.
played 3 years.
Braylon Jones out of Houston is their center. Surprise, surprise.
So the tight ends, and I can't remember all of them, but there were I looked at all the rosters.
Yeah.
And the tight ends off of some of the rosters were the biggest names I recognized from me being a college football fan.
That's crazy.
Isn't that weird? Like, you wouldn't expect tight ends to be the big names.
Well, Julian Allen from Southern Miss is one of the Gamblers tight ends, and Josh Peterson from Louisiana Monroe is another one. And then Clint Stings.
I just thought it was pretty funny.
From Linwood. I don't even know where Linwood's at. Whatever.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So I couldn't find the big names in the USFL.
No, I mean, it's kind of
so
interesting. You know who their VP of operations is?
No.
Moose Johnston.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the big name.
Who knows?
So we kind of joked about it, and I want to I don't know if you're ready to move on from spring football or not.
We can. That's fine.
But I want to keep it on the football topic, and we kind of joked about doing a little bit of a different intro this episode.
Yes. God, what in the hell is Aaron Rodgers smoking?
Can we talk about Aaron Rodgers for a second?
First of all, what the fuck is a darker treat?
Okay.
I had to Google this shit to figure it out. First of all.
Me and Dana finally got to the point where we finished the Walking Dead series.
Okay.
And there was a short amount of time because there's a deaf lady on there. There was a short period where it was focused solely on her, and there was no sound because it was kind of taking it from her point of view.
Her perspective, yeah.
And I was like, how weird would it be to watch an entire episode just following her where you could hear nothing? It was just silence. But
did you watch it at nighttime?
Yeah.
How creepy was it?
So,
let's be honest.
I mean, that's how weird is that, right? So it's kind of, but so you take that and then you add in the fact that you can't see anything.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, there's like a tub or a pool of water you can lay in. Also,
well, I know from what I gathered from my Google research on this, you basically shut yourself in a
hut.
Not even a hut, like a blacked out room with no light seeping in whatsoever. No lights in the room, nothing.
And I think he said 4 days.
Some people do it as little as 3.
I would go insane.
Yeah, that would be a little difficult.
Insane.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, because the room they showed on the thing I actually watched, it was a YouTube video. It literally had a food box, which basically a food box, what it is, it's a box in a wall. It's got a door on one side, door on the other side. Somebody from outside puts food in it for you.
Okay.
A toilet. That's all that's in this room.
What if you miss?
Go to the bathroom in the dark.
What if you miss? Or what if you get poop on your finger? Because you go to wipe the first time and you're like,
yeah,
that's about right.
I mean, Rogers is using wet wipes, I guess. Or is Rogers just taking
so many questions?
Is he taking a bunch of Imodium and just not shitting for 3 days?
Here's a question. Okay. Right. How long do you think you could make it?
I think 2.
2 hours?
2
or
days.
2 days?
I think I could go 48 hours.
You think so?
I think so.
Whew, I don't know.
I think I could.
I don't know. I'm thinking like 2 hours, and I'm freaking out.
No, I go longer than 2 hours. Hell, I sleep for longer than 2 hours.
Right. No, I think I could go longer than 2 hours, but that's 4, especially if he's going full 4 days.
I don't know. Like, he's drinking some really good
Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
But, okay, so here's my thought. Because I remember whenever Aaron Rodgers was at the NFL draft.
Right.
Such a cool dude. He's from California. He looked, he's the handsome quarterback you expect. He's from California. Cool guy. He sat behind Brett Favre. He waited his turn. He did all the right things, and he's such a great quarterback. I love listening to him on the Pat McAfee show. You never know what's going to come out of that dude's mouth.
He's very interesting to listen to, but at the same time, he looks like your scuzzy, creepy uncle that's in the back corner.
A lot of the times he does, with his weird ponytail.
And let's be honest, AJ Hawk, when he smokes a cigar, is Casper the Friendly Ghost with a ponytail. White, with white smoke, and a ponytail. So
he made a comment on on one show a while back.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what Pat was saying, but
can we talk about one real quick? How I don't like the USFL logos, but I like the XFL logos.
Okay.
I'm done.
You're just kind of looking at them.
I was.
But so he said, words are spells that are cast into the world.
Who the fuck says that?
And I mean, he justifies it, and he makes a good point.
Did this dude just get finished playing D&D after smoking a bunch of ganja?
I don't know.
And what the hell?
So, and that's the other thing. Pat, at one point during another interview, said...
We got a cheers from Good Times Bourbon, by the way.
Hey, what's going on, Good Times Bourbon? Yes. Just freaking yes. But Pat said something along the lines of it was something, and I'm paraphrasing, you're doing drugs or you're doing this, that. And Aaron was like, no, I am taking medicine, because medicine is a natural plant-based thing. Like weed, marijuana, is a plant-based, or you don't add anything to it. Something like...
Corn's a vegetable.
Right. Something like cocaine or synthetic drugs, you're doing chemical compounds. It's not natural. So because it was on that whole ayahuasca kick where he did the tea and he had psychedelic views or whatever, he said, no, that's just a plant. That is a medicine. That is a natural
It's still
plant.
weird.
But so his whole point was, you can't say I'm doing drugs because there's not a synthetic portion to it. Like whenever you take an opioid or a painkiller,
Yes.
that company is adding XYZ, and you don't know what the hell it
you
is.
Don't. Yeah.
I'm gonna take ayahuasca, which is a natural grown plant with nothing added to it. So that is a medicine in the sense of it's all natural.
I'm curious, is ayahuasca on the banned substance list by the NFL?
Probably not. Okay. I mean, I don't think marijuana is at this point either.
I don't know.
To a certain extent, I think.
They still get fined for it.
I'm sure. But
they
I mean,
still get hit for it.
Honestly, I'm behind the fact that I would rather an NFL player smoke marijuana to relieve pain than take 100,000 milligrams of whatever.
Yes.
They don't need that.
I
know
agree
me.
with it, yeah.
I'm not going to take pills anyway. I mean, I switched whenever I broke my finger and I couldn't do painkillers anymore because I felt it.
Yeah.
And I knew where I was going with it.
Yeah.
I switched. So,
I get it. I mean, let's be honest. There's been documentation that, like, prime example, CBD gummies.
Right.
There's a lot of people that take them.
And there's a bunch of athletes that stand behind and promote all of these brands that are doing like CBD and all of this stuff. That's like really cool.
Terrell Davis, I found this out the other day. You know how at one time we did Defy Water. Mm-hmm. They also have one now. I saw it in the store the other day. We don't have it in our warehouse. So I'm curious on where this certain gentleman got it. There's a Defy that's flavored that has CBD in it.
Really? Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So I get the whole CBD thing. I mean, I unfortunately can't do it because of the fact that I have a commercial driver's license. Which,
yeah. No, and I completely
figure.
understand that. But I mean, yeah, he's a weird. So just
he's
kind of
a weird cat.
He's a weird cat.
I mean, he was almost engaged. Let's talk about his life choices for a second, because that literally just made me think. How the fuck do you go from Danica Patrick to Shaylee Woodley? Somebody please explain that shit to me. Danica Patrick is a hot NASCAR
Piece of ass.
race car driver. Shaylee Woodley is the secret life of the American teenager.
So I've got a lot of respect for
Danica Patrick
for what she did, for the boundaries she was breaking in IndyCar and then NASCAR.
Yes.
I have a lot of respect for her in that sense. Yes. Is she hot? Yes. Did it help that she did a whole bunch of ads with GoDaddy whenever they were doing their sexual thing?
Yes.
No.
I mean,
but
kind of helped.
Right. But yeah, I agree. Like, I think that's
how do you do that?
How do you not describe? But like, you think of power couple, Beyonce and Jay-Z, and you think of power couple. If you put Aaron Rodgers and Danica Patrick,
Benifer,
right? I had to think about it for a second, but yeah, you think of power couple. You could put Aaron Rodgers and Danica Patrick up against most of that.
Yes,
because she could have such a huge pull in so many areas.
Yes,
and then you think Aaron Rodgers, who's one of the greatest of all times, not to overuse the term GOAT, but he is.
Dude's a good quarterback.
But how weird is this guy?
Super weird. He's like McLovin weird.
Love Aaron Rodgers. Love listening to Aaron Rodgers Tuesday on the Pat McAfee show. No free ads. But
McLovin weird. That's just what I'm saying.
But the dude's kind of weird.
Dude's out there. Like, it's beyond weird. I don't get it. Californians are supposed to be like laid back and chill and surf and do all this other stereotypical shit. This guy's the complete polar. I think the cold has officially screwed his mind up in Wisconsin.
Because I would even accept it. Cool surfer dude from California, smokes weed. Do your thing, brother.
Do your thing.
But you've kind of gone a level past that.
I think it's the cold.
You think?
It's got to be the wind. It's got to be the cold up there in Wisconsin. So Green Bay is a cold place.
Very cold. So we brought it. I just brought it up with Danica Patrick. The Daytona 500 is this weekend.
I always like that. If I'm going to watch one NASCAR race, it's going to be
the Daytona 500.
It's going to be the Daytona and then the Indy 500.
So yeah,
that's the two I watch. I kind of gravitated just because of my mom and her husband.
I like the Daytona.
They do the whole F1 Formula 1. Yeah, he's big. He's a big Formula 1 guy.
I like the Daytona 500 just because there's always the big one, quote unquote. There's a massive wreck. It usually involves like 20 cars.
Oh, yes.
Super speedway. They're going 195 miles an hour.
The sad thing about here's what I understand. You can catch that on just about any interstate up north.
Probably. Yeah, exactly.
But yet people tune in and spend millions of dollars to watch it on a racetrack.
Exactly.
When all you got to do is stand by the I-55.
Yeah. So this year is the 75th anniversary of NASCAR. We've just lost every one of our viewers because I'm talking NASCAR. 75th anniversary of NASCAR.
Talking soccer.
Right. Huge soccer show.
Soccer matters.
65th running of the Daytona 500.
Okay.
Did you know this? Travis Pastrana qualified for the Daytona 500. You know who Travis Pastrana is?
I do know, yeah.
X Games, motocross.
Nitro Circus, yes.
Nitro Circus, rally car.
Yes.
Like extreme sports fanatic.
He's right up there with like the Brian Deegan of the world.
So he's driving this, yeah.
You didn't think I knew who that was?
That was surprise. I just stopped for a second. Holy crap. But he's driving a 23XI car, which is the company owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
But shout out Travis Pastrana.
I had an energy drink by a NASCAR guy the other day. I was experimenting. Yeah. Never had Rowdy Energy by Kyle
Busch?
Yeah, Kyle Busch.
No, I have not.
So I was stopped at Speedy Stop.
Yeah?
And you know how I am about Speedy Stop. I got to get my Spam, egg, and cheese sandwich.
Yeah. Okay, so time out. Quick side note.
Sidebar.
I gave you a ton of shit on the way to Whiskey Fest for getting a Spam, egg, and cheese.
You got one, didn't you?
Fuck you. Because I got one like 2 weeks ago. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. That was good. Fuck you, because that was good.
I'm telling you, you're going to never trust a skinny cook. Never.
Why? Is Spam, egg, and cheese good?
It's just the way I don't know. It's the way they grill it. I don't know, because they cook it on a flat top.
It should not be that good.
Spam on a flat. You can do the same thing on your Blackstone. Trust me.
I'm sure. Anyways.
We're talking about Spam.
We're talking about Spam. We're talking about NASCAR. This show's off the rails.
It's never off the rails. Wait a minute. Who are we kidding?
Yeah,
I can't
always
see
off the rails.
I don't know if we got any new ones.
I don't know either. Hang on.
Maybe. No, we're right there. Okay.
All right, we're good. So.
Yes.
All right, Travis Pastrana.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Let's roll back to the NFL.
I got a tie-in for you. So you mentioned Michael Jordan's, what was it, 23i?
23XI.
23XI. Did you know Michael Jordan just donated $10 million to the Make-A-Wish Foundation?
I saw something about that. For his 60th birthday, that was his thing?
That's what he wanted to do.
$10 million.
$10 million to Make-A-Wish.
How freaking cool is that?
That's pretty damn cool. Do you know who's granted the most wishes in the Make-A-Wish campaign?
No.
WWE superstar John Cena.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
That dude's everywhere.
Because everybody.
Cena's all over the place.
Everybody as a kid wants to be Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Growing up now, John Cena.
Yes.
You want to be that person.
Yes.
There's pictures of me in like the little weird underwear.
Yeah.
Flex that. I wanted to be the Hulk and Sting and all of these guys.
I get it.
That makes sense.
It's amazing how I mentioned Make-A-Wish and then tied into wrestling.
Right, of course.
You're all over the place.
So running back to the NFL real quick.
Funny.
Shout out Michael Jordan. That's really freaking cool. $10 million is a ton of money. That's going to make
I think it's one of the largest donations they've ever had.
It's going to grant a lot of wishes.
Yes, it is.
And that's awesome. Can't thank that dude enough.
Yes.
He's been awesome with all of his money and all of that.
I wish he would put out his own cigar.
Even though he wastes.
Because he's a huge cigar guy.
He wastes tens of thousands of dollars, probably monthly,
gambling,
if not weekly, on cigars.
And gambling, yes.
On cigars alone.
Yeah, and let's not to mention the fact that he gambles on the golf course.
Oh yeah, that too. So NFL real quick.
Yes.
Eric Bieniemy has accepted the offensive coordinator / assistant head coaching job with the Washington Commanders.
Yes. I saw that.
How do you go from the Chiefs, an up-and-coming dynasty, to the shit show that is the Commanders?
Hey, don't feel bad. Cam Jordan right now is actively recruiting Derek Carr to come to New Orleans.
Well, apparently they're releasing, or they did release.
They released, yeah. Carr's been released.
So it would make. I mean, I could see that.
I could too. I mean, I could see that. I kind of wish they would give Jameis another run. But I think at this point, I think he needs to go to the XFL. Hey, I'm not going to. Jameis would be.
How fun would that be?
Send Andy Dalton to the XFL. It. Yeah, send the Red Ryder BB gun down there too.
Andy Dalton, Jameis wins. I mean, Jameis in the XFL would be legit.
Oh
sling
my God,
it, dude.
yes.
Just freaking throw
Rear
it.
back and sling it.
I don't care if you have 47 picks and 52 touchdowns.
Yes,
sling it. Just go.
I get it, man. I get it completely.
Something else you brought up.
Trey Lance may be there with him at some point.
That how funny would that be?
To go with Brock Purdy.
Yeah. I mean,
Mr. Irrelevant himself.
Yeah. But if we're so let's do that real quick.
Okay.
You want and it just came to me because of what you said about Trey Lance. Best current NFL quarterback that would make the most sense and be the biggest headline in the XFL, Kyler Murray.
Oh, yes. I agree with that.
That dude would be electrifying in the XFL.
Does T.O. make a run at the XFL? T.O. says he can still play.
He played in the Fan Control League.
Yes, he did. Along with Johnny Football. Johnny Foosball played in that league,
Could he come back in the XFL?
Hey, I'm not going to lie. I would love to see Johnny Manziel.
I think he's past his prime.
I don't care. Past his prime, Johnny Manziel in the XFL, it will do one thing. Yeah. It'll put asses in seats, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson, says the same thing. He could take most of these kids nowadays.
Oh, I think he could.
That dude's still in badass shape.
I know.
I follow him on Twitter.
T.O. his workouts are like legendary.
T.O., Ocho Cinco. But thinking about current NFL quarterbacks, if you were to throw one into the XFL, my choice would be Kyler Murray.
Does Tom make a run at the XFL?
No. Okay, God, no.
Just checking.
You can't do that.
I mean, you can't. You're Tom Brady. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Whatever the fuck you want. Exactly. But do you pass up $375 million with Fox?
Well, he said he's taking this year off. So, I mean, he has a year that he could technically.
And the XFL does start.
Yeah, they start now. It makes sense. And there's a team in Orlando.
What team would say no?
I'm telling you right now, if he walks into Orlando and says, hey, guys, they're going to be like, yes, come on.
Bring it.
We'll get a bunch of guys from the high school team, wide receiving core. Just sling it to him.
But could you protect him? Because you can't let him get hit. God, don't let that guy get hit.
I don't know.
He's got to have a little bit of time. Well, I mean, he's got one of the quickest releases.
Well, I mean,
in the NFL.
Have him run out of the shotgun all the time.
But you can't let that dude get hit. Like, you got to put an offensive line there.
I think you let him run out of the shotgun.
Just college style, Just
step back, sling it. Yes, you're Tom Terrific, for God's sake.
You are. You're Tom Terrific.
God.
Something you mentioned in the text message whenever we were talking about this show.
What did I take? I took some shit.
So you talked about March Madness.
Yes.
I don't know shit about college basketball.
How college basketball is all over the place right now? No. Northwestern in the same week knocked off Purdue and I think Indiana or whoever. I saw it the other day.
Well, I did see where
Texas got knocked off. Texas is like top 5 right now.
I watched the duels for the Daytona 500.
Gotcha.
They did those last night, and then after that was USC Cal.
Okay.
And I watched the first half-ish of that game. USC could make a fucking run. And I don't watch a whole lot of college basketball, so don't quote me on this, but USC looks good.
Yes, they do.
Here was my note on your topic of March Madness. I don't know shit about college basketball until
You know what tomorrow?
Almost the end of.
You know what tomorrow is, don't you?
No.
Tomorrow's Red River Throwdown.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Hell
Number
yeah.
6, Texas,
Hell
is playing Oklahoma.
yeah.
Texas is a 10.5-point favorite, by the way.
I'm sure. What's Oklahoma's record this year?
13-13. Texas is 20-6.
So they're gonna have to like win the Big 12 tournament to make it.
Oh
in.
yes.
If
Yes,
at all.
they are.
But that's always
Can we
a
talk
thing.
about how college baseball started today?
Yeah. Today or tomorrow?
Yes, I got scores right now.
Oh shit. Who we got tonight?
So right now you got A&M at number 5 and Seattle University top of the 8th. A&M's up 5-2.
And you're right. Oklahoma was playing today.
Oklahoma State beat Missouri 5-3. LSU romped Western Michigan 10-0. Number 1 LSU, by the way. Wake Forest at number 6. A battle of top 15s. TCU smashed Vandy. And
Really?
Vandy was ranked number 10.
Holy crap.
11-1. Yes, they smashed Vandy.
Damn.
Yes.
I know Oklahoma played today and they were leading the last time I saw.
These are all the scores I
scores.
just named, like the Oklahoma State, LSU, Wake Forest.
top 25 teams, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're all top 25. They're all top 15, actually, but that's all part of the college baseball showdown.
Yeah. Yeah, so college baseball is always fun.
College
it's
baseball
a ton of
ridiculously
fun.
fun. Let me expand this.
So
I got other scores, too.
Yeah, I'm
Texas and Arkansas are 0-0 right now on
Okay.
the top of the 6th.
Yeah.
Where else is I at? Number 7, Florida trounced Charleston Southern.
yeah. Holy crap.
What?
You see the Virginia Navy score? That's football.
24-5, yes,
God.
in 7. That's at the Hughes Brothers Challenge, by the way. Tech over Gonzaga was big.
Oklahoma-
North Carolina State over Wagner 14-1.
Very nice.
Yes.
Oklahoma beat CA Baptist 5-2.
Nice.
I'm just going to throw that one out there.
5-2. Mississippi State trounced VMI 11-2.
It's amazing to me how there's so much variation in similar sports. Like the Oklahoma softball team.
Yes.
Beast.
Yes.
Beast.
Yes.
Oklahoma baseball's not even ranked.
No. Well, according to this, Texas isn't either right now, which I find odd.
Bro, how long have we been going? I got to pee again.
Hour and 26 minutes.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, we're beyond good.
Yep. All right.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's fun. It's a fun time right now. It's spring sports. We got the XFL kicks off tomorrow. College baseball kicked off today. It's just we're all over the place. NASCAR's fixing to kick off. I hate NASCAR, but I'm gonna do that just for Bucky. It's crazy. It's a crazy time right now. I've got messages popping up. No, not doing the drunken chicken cigar thing. Not gonna happen. I'll give him a shout out though, being as I talked about it. Ooh, can we talk about how Miami's getting upset right now?
What?
Miami's getting upset by Penn State 6-1.
way.
Yes, Penn State is up 6-1, top of 7 over number 22 Miami.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's a shocker. But, I mean, and that's kind of, just to elaborate a little bit, like, it's such a downer time for a lot of sports shows.
It really is.
Because the NFL's over.
Yes.
And that's the big draw. Everybody wants to talk about the NFL. The Super Bowl just ended. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I get it. But look at what's going on right now. Like, we're
Yes.
about to roll into March Madness, and that's when I start paying attention to college basketball. College baseball season is a ton of fun if you just give it a chance.
Super fun.
MLB pitchers and catchers have reported. So we're right around the corner from baseball season. Like I said, NASCAR Daytona 500 is this
Sooner
weekend.
softball ladies, by the way, trounced
crushed.
Longwood 10-0 in 5.
Go figure.
Yeah.
I think that's their second run rule in like the last couple
We
days.
know where Longwood even is.
No, but it doesn't matter. That's their second run rule in like 2 days, 3 days.
What do you mean? Can we talk about how number 19 Duke is literally beating number 4 Arkansas in top of 7 right now? 7-4. Softball. Yeah, we're a big softball show. Softball
big
matters.
softball show.
Yeah, softball matters.
Lord. I thought Oklahoma would hurt losing. I'm not going to remember her name. Not going to try to remember her name.
That chick.
That chick?
Yeah.
Who's a beast.
Beast.
But they're not.
No. I think that they don't rebuild, they reload.
Right.
Let's be honest.
That's a wagon. That team is a wagon. But kind of just to revisit all of this, there's a ton ton of sports and great things going on right now in the spring. We called this Spring into Spring with the gentleman because don't give up on anything. Like, there's a ton of fun with college baseball, college basketball, NASCAR. If you want some action, watch the Daytona 500 because it really is a ton of fun whenever you get to the ending of that race.
Yes.
There's going to be the big one. It's exciting. We've got the XFL, the USFL starting in April. XFL starts this weekend. Don't give up. Just because NFL's over, don't get sad. I get excited. Baseball season's right around the corner. But here's some other things that come along with spring. One of me and your favorite holidays.
Yes.
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. Can we talk about how, real quick?
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania comes out today?
Yes.
Can we talk about how Magic Mike's making his last dance?
No.
Okay.
Unless you want me on the table dancing to Pony, we're not going to talk about Magic Mike and his last dance.
No. Of course, I'm not going to lie. There is a movie that interests me.
Okay.
80 for Brady.
Oh, about all the grandmas?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be funny.
I think that one's going to be pretty funny.
I think it's going to be funny.
Me and the wife had tentative plans to possibly go see Ant-Man and the Wasp because she knows I'm a Marvel fan.
Guy. Yeah.
Don't know when that's going to happen because obviously we want to go to your brother's house tomorrow. Not sure. I think we're
eating crawfish.
Because it's crawfish season too. So spring
season, yes.
Spring is here. It's February.
Yes.
The crawfish should start getting decent size here soon.
Yes. And we'll be in Mount Bellevue. So we may have to hit up the Mount Bellevue cigar and whatever those
James,
guys are.
we will be in your area. If you see this before tomorrow, we will be in your area.
Some of us will be there early.
Yeah.
Some of us have to go pick up said crawfish.
So I'm sure you saw my video doing crawfish with bourbon or whiskey. I was so worried about how much you could hear me chew.
You couldn't hear it at all.
So you want to wreck your palate, eat some crawfish, and then try to drink some bourbon.
Yeah, I can see that.
It was tough.
I can sure it was. Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot there. Stick with the cold beer.
Stick with cold beer.
Stick with the RTDs.
Yes.
There's a lot of companies out there making good RTDs, ready to drink.
They really are.
Bourbon's not the choice. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Here's what we'll be drinking tomorrow.
Probably. We're gonna do it anyway. That's what we do. We are the functional gentlemen.
Yes,
that's what we do. We drink whiskey.
That is what we do. We drink whiskey. We talk shit. Not really. We don't talk shit.
So Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
And crawfish season.
Yes. Speaking of, do you know who is at Mardi Gras Beaumont tonight?
I don't.
Uncle Cracker.
What?
Yes. Do you know who's there tomorrow night?
Nope.
Paul Wall himself. And then Chris Jansen is going to be in Galveston tomorrow.
I like Chris Jansen.
Yeah.
Paul Wall, really? In Beaumont?
Yes. Uncle Cracker tonight, he goes on at 10, and tomorrow night at 10.
If my age, if you don't love Uncle Cracker, then, I mean, come on now.
His version of Drift Away is one of my favorites.
It's an awesome version.
I like the Dobie Gray original, but Uncle Cracker does a pretty good one.
All right. So I made a couple notes on Mardi Gras.
Yes.
So me and you aren't doing Mardi Gras this year.
No, we did it last year.
We did it last year.
Yes.
We aren't doing it this year. We've got other plans.
Yes.
Which I'm super excited about.
Yes.
But you got to love this time of the year. I wrote beads, boobies, and king cake.
Yes. I had a king cake earlier.
So
cream cheese king cake.
Here's my question to you.
Okay.
Which would you choose? A hurricane from Bourbon Street or a king cake from literally any bakery in Louisiana?
Ooh. Where's the hurricane from?
I don't know. I've never been to Bourbon Street, but I've heard that's like the drink.
So
clearly, it's literally
as the elder statesman in the room.
Correct.
A hurricane from the Court of Two Sisters.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I take the hurricane
over
a
king cake.
Yes. If it's anywhere other than that, I'll probably take it a king cake.
Okay.
Or I don't know. Pete's Dueling Piano Bar has good hurricanes, from what I've been told. Saints and Sinners is another place, which is Channing Tatum's joint. Been there, done that. Got
Speaking of Magic Mike.
Speaking of Magic Mike, yes, in his last dance. But yeah,
he should have done the last dance at.
Yes, he should have.
How cool would that have been to shoot the movie there?
Yeah, that would have been.
That would have been funny. So that was kind of my question: is a hurricane from Bourbon Street or a king cake from?
They're both legit in their own way. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, to me, and my wife's had one from the same Court of Two Sisters. We can both vouch for that. Yes.
Because I did see your post, I think it was earlier this week or late last week, about the baby.
Yes. The PSA about the baby. Yeah. No baby left behind.
Yeah, no baby left behind.
Hashtag no baby left behind.
And I know Mardi Gras is always a great time of the year for us. I mean, we both got a ton of coon-ass in our family.
Yes.
Big time of the year. I went to our Conroe location last Friday.
Yeah.
They have a service writer there that is like straight Louisiana, and it was fun to listen to her talk about it because she was like, "I'm dressing up. I don't care what they say. I'm gonna show up with my purple, green, yellow."
She pull a Farmer Fred on your ass. Go. You remember that time Bobby Bush here ran that touchdown? He ran that man.
I was waiting for it, but it was awesome. It was good. It was great. Fun and
you gotta love
exciting.
The sad thing about it is, like, if you want to do Mardi Gras right, don't go to don't go to New Orleans.
Right.
Go to like the smaller towns. Go to Opelousas. Go to Breaux Bridge.
And there's a lot more history there. But yeah, Mardi Gras is a great time of the year.
In Opelousas, you actually see them chase the chicken.
I did not know that.
Yes.
But, I mean, even if you get a chance to do something like Galveston, they've got all the crews there.
Yes,
the
crews are all out.
I mean, there's a lot of places you can experience Mardi Gras and not have to drive all the way to New Orleans or Opelousas or whatever it is.
I mean, I felt we did it up right last year when we did it.
It's the experience.
We did the whole 9, and it was.
You can get the beads, you can throw, you got a ton of people down on the street. Just if you can experience a Mardi Gras, I would highly recommend it.
Get a balcony, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and it's because it's a ton of fun.
Get a balcony.
There's a good view of the band usually, or you can at least hear it.
Yes.
It was just a ton of fun. It really was a lot of fun. I highly recommend anybody that wants to experience Mardi Gras, do it, but try to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Do what's expected of Mardi Gras. Get you some coon-ass fucking food.
Yes.
Get you a king cake.
Just we started that day with
beignets and coffee.
We started out with crawfish actually that day at Texas Tail.
At Texas Tail.
Yeah.
But I mean, eat some crawfish, get some beignets and chicory coffee. Do it big,
Yep.
do it right, experience it, learn about it. It's a lot of fun.
It's very much fun. As a guy who's done New Orleans and Galveston both in his life,
right?
I don't remember much about New Orleans.
I'm sure you don't.
I was young.
So we mentioned crawfish. I have a question for you.
All right.
Being a coon-ass just as much as I am, I want to know what your take is. Are you a just make them as spicy as possible kind of guy, or are you a balance of flavor and spice kind of guy?
I start out the balance, but at the end I'm like, fuck it.
I want something to make me sweat.
I want something that makes me shit through a screen door and not get a single wire dirty. That's what I want.
I think I'm the same way. As I was typing the question, I was like, I think I'm both.
You gotta go both.
Because you want good flavor. Like whenever you're eating.
But you want to ease into it too. Like that's why I like the balance first. I want to.
And that's what I like about whenever we do crawfish bowls. We start out with more for like the kids and the wives.
Yes.
And it's just we dump in our spices, and then as we go, we dump in more spices, and we throw in maybe some hot sauce or whatever.
I forgot to ask my brother if anybody got a pineapple.
So that leads into my next question. So sausage, corn, and potato.
Yes.
That's the norm. That's what everybody throws in their crawfish.
Gotta go mushroom.
So, and that leads me into my second part of that.
Okay.
What's your kind of one-off that not everybody does? So mushrooms. Mine was mushroom and eggs. I like to throw hard boiled eggs.
Better that you wouldn't think of.
Marshmallows, not marshmallows.
No,
don't throw marshmallows in your crawfish bowl. Mushrooms and eggs are my one-offs. What's yours?
Pineapple. Asparagus.
I've heard asparagus is really good.
Asparagus is legit.
Me and you personally have done pineapple the last couple years.
Yes.
We always throw a pineapple in somewhere toward the end, just let it go for the last 20, 30 minutes of our last batch.
Yes.
And then we slice that trucker open.
You got to score it right, though.
You do.
You got to score it.
You do have to score it. So I would definitely recommend it because it brings a lot of sweet, spicy
I feel I need to
something.
teach. I feel I need to teach a class this year on scoring a pineapple.
Yeah?
I think we're gonna try that at some point. I mean, we got the setup here.
If y'all do a
I
crawfish
mean, hell,
bowl,
we can take the table out, put a crawfish cooker in here. Fuck it.
don't tempt me with a good time.
Hey,
But I
have to worry
would
about getting
highly
rained on.
right. I would highly recommend throwing a pineapple in that mother trucker.
pineapple's
It's
legit.
good. It really is.
I mean, most people
I
don't
was
like
so
the lemons
surprised
and
the
the
first
oranges
because
and
we
stuff
did
like
it
that.
4 years ago.
Something like that,
You
yeah.
were like, "Hey, throw this in there." Huh?
Oh yeah, I got the looks.
I was like, "No, what?
What are you doing?
This is a crawfish bowl, son.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Best day of my life."
I may try spam in little cheesecloth baggies next year. Who knows?
Who knows? I think it would just,
That's why you put it in a baggie.
but no, maybe.
Cheesecloth's kind of thin.
What if you smoked it first, got a little bit of a crust on it, then threw it in?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll experiment.
It's experimental. It's in the experimental stage. We'll figure it
Experimental
out.
drugs, experimental phases, whatever we're doing.
So, drink of choice during a crawfish bowl.
I normally gravitate to beer.
Yeah,
Honestly,
me too.
I mean beer.
And I'm not even a beer drinker.
Sweet tea.
Oh, well, yeah, non-alcoholic sweet
Yeah.
tea is the choice.
Yes.
I don't care who you are. Sweet tea is the choice.
I know guys that do Bloody Marys.
Really?
Yeah. So
That's kind of weird because it's spicy on spicy.
mine, it depends on how you do it. If you do the spicy Bloody Mary, then yes. If you do just a regular Bloody Mary, then no.
I'm not a Bloody Mary fan.
I'm not neither.
Because and that's where like whenever I did my little video, the rye whiskey with the spiciness of the
I'm
crawfish
sure that was
was not. It just for me it didn't. I just couldn't get behind it.
So I'm curious. Cigar finish with crawfish.
I think it would be okay.
Okay, we'll find out tomorrow.
We will.
Sorry,
Good still.
it looked like it was creeping out.
Yeah, we don't want oxidization.
No,
Oxidation.
do not.
Oxidation.
Yeah, oxidation.
That's the word. There's no Z there.
Yeah, no dude.
Do you have are we at that point? Where are we at? We're at 140.
We're at 140.
I'm kind of out of notes. I don't know if you have anything left on yours.
I got an EDC corner.
Are we bringing back the EDC?
We are in a way different way. You'll actually like this EDC.
Okay. That has buttons on it, sir.
No, it does not have buttons on it, sir.
Damn it. I thought it was technological.
It is technological.
Oh, shit. Whoop.
Skull Candy Dimes.
Ooh.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I like them. I've had
Yeah?
them like 3 days.
Do they automatically connect whenever you take them out of your case?
Yeah. And I can do them
Yeah?
independently too.
Yes. Yeah?
I like it.
You like them?
I do. They're small. They're discreet. I like
And
them.
those are the
The dime.
Skull Candy Dime.
Is what they're called.
Can we ask a price point?
$23.98 at Walmart.
Ooh, very nice. Okay.
That's where I got mine. I got mine at Walmart in Mid County.
Sound quality is good.
Sounds good. Brandy,
Have you taken a phone call on them?
Brandy said she can actually hear me better
Okay.
on these than when I have my phone Bluetoothed to my vehicle.
Okay.
So sound quality is pretty good.
And in your ear, sound quality on
Yes.
phone calls good. Sound
Yes.
quality on music.
Everything
Good.
across the board.
Because I have, so we'll throw it out there since it's part of the EDC corner. I have the Google Pixel Buds.
Okay.
Love them. I think they're great. They automatically connect. Obviously, they're, I guess, the equivalent to the Apple AirPods or
Yeah.
whatever. It's kind of the same idea. But so the fact that a $23.99 Skull Candy connects automatically when you open it. As soon as you take it out, you put it in your ear, it's automatically connected. You can use one at a time.
Yep.
That's a great alternative.
I like it.
Sound quality is good.
Yes.
Because let's face it, same way we talk about price point on whiskey. Not everybody's going to go out and spend $149.99 on some Apple
granted, I hadn't
AirPods.
figured out how to turn off a call yet, other than taking my phone out and hit the end button. But I mean, I'll sacrifice that.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to go out. I didn't want to spend $169.95 on my daughter's AirPod
I
Pros.
wasn't going to.
Right. And it pisses me off every time she has them in her ears because they've got transparent mode or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and she can hit it and she can't hear nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. So, but I get it. So a $23.95.
And these are actually, I'll show you. They're
Yeah.
actually kind of discreet, so I'm going to do a little foreshadowing.
Please.
If you
That's
can
what
see
EDC
it.
Corner is all about.
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
so when you look at it, and if you look on the screen right now, that's how small they are.
yeah, I mean, you can barely even see that.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
And that's what I
it's-
like about my Google Buds is I do a lot of my TikTok videos
Yes.
with it in my ear, and you can barely even see it, if at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's great. That's very discreet. The black color really blends in with a lot.
You know,
a little dongle.
Yeah, a little dingle,
Dongle,
carabiner thingy.
Right.
I'll probably hook something to it and attach it somewhere on.
Now I'm sure you could like clip it to your belt loop.
It actually tucks away very well in a cargo pocket.
I will say, so
I got on cargo pants right now.
Speaking of that, because that's
shocker.
Right. Oh no, shocked face.
Shocked face.
That's one thing I will say about my Google Airbud.
Yeah.
Pixel Buds,
Yes.
whatever you call them. So the case literally looks like an egg, and I have to like slip it into a pocket of my backpack that I carry everywhere. There's nowhere to like that. That would be great because I don't have anywhere to put.
And they even make like accessories for it.
And
like I can get a different color skin.
Exactly. I'm not a huge cargo short or pant guy. So there's nowhere for me to just easily, because I've got my phone in one pocket and my wallet and keys in the other.
So we'll do a little comparison, okay? Butane lighter?
Right. We don't really have anything. Right. Super small.
Literally. Here's where we're at. I've got cutters.
That's probably pretty close. Maybe a little bit wider. It may be like this.
Okay.
But my Google Pixel is probably closer to that. And a little bit wider, so it's like an egg.
I got you.
So it's not something I can just throw in my pocket with my phone, wallet, keys, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
It disappears in the pocket.
So,
that's what I love about it.
But that's what I'm saying, like a little dongle thingy.
It's even got the skull candy logo on the back of it.
So I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, I love my Google Pixel Buds. They're great.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all that jazz.
I just figured, we talked about doing it every once in a while.
I
got
like
something
it.
new.
I like it.
I'm kind of gravitating outside of the normal EDC stuff that I've normally been known for.
Yeah.
I'm not known for the tech on this show. So,
you don't say.
No, I know, right?
But do you got one of them there things?
I'm looking for one. I don't know if you can ramble for a little bit longer, but
sure, I'm sure I can.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
So be sure to check out the merch, functionyourway.live.
Yes.
Go check out gtbourbon.com for all of Good Times Bourbon's merch. They've got cups. They got all kind of cool stuff on there. Whiskeythief.com if you're in the Kentucky area. They're in Frankfort. Check out their tasting room. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to JC Newman for tonight's Smoke of the Week. We cannot thank y'all enough.
Is legit.
That baton is legit. I can't wait to do the other two.
I think we're going to try and do the Maximus next week. I think is what we're going to do.
I'm down.
I think we're going to do the Maximus.
I'm along for the ride, baby.
We'll do the Maximus next week.
But
following week, we'll do the
shout out to both of those companies. Shout out to everybody that has tuned in tonight. We can't thank y'all enough.
Right.
John, we hope to have you back soon.
Yeah.
We always love you in Producer Corner.
John should be back next week.
But other than that, I think there's not a whole lot going on in our world.
Not really. I mean, we're going to go do the birthday things tomorrow. Tomorrow is my daughter and sister-in-law's joint birthday with that side of the family. We did a thing Wednesday night with my wife's family and you guys, of course. So
I am slowly but surely getting back to 100%.
Yeah.
Obviously, I apologize to you for not being there.
No, you're good. Dude. I knew it was
Wednesday night, and
sometimes you just don't want to do stuff. I get it, and sometimes you just want to be by yourself. I get that too. Just don't make it a habit of being by yourself.
Well, no, obviously, but if you're ready, I'm ready. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, water that thing. Let me water too while I'm at it.
You ready?
Sure.
Let's call for alcohol.
I hate when people say you don't need whiskey to have fun. Well, you don't need running shoes to run, but it fucking helps. Does that almost rank right up here with Third Monkey?
That was a good one. I like that. You don't need running shoes to run,
but it fucking helps.
But it fucking helps. I like it. I like it a lot. Live by it. Put it on a shirt. Live by it.
Put it on a shirt.
That's a good one.
Put it on a cracker, dude.
Put it on a cracker. No, we can't say that. I don't think. I don't know. Is it copyrighted?
I don't know.
And
I don't care.
As always.
Worst he can do is send us a cease and desist. And I heard you didn't make it in life until you get at least one.
Right. You got to get one.
I'm working on my first one.
We're trying. We want to get there.
Yes, I want somebody to literally send me an email that I can print out and just stick up in front of the camera about, read this.
Look what we got. As always, y'all have been great.
Yep.
You've been great.
I try.
I try to be great.
You're good.
We've been the Functional Gentlemen.
Yes.
Hashtag function your way.
Yes.
Hashtag for the fans.
Yes.
Hashtag 2023 year of the gentleman.
Yes.
Because we are coming on strong.
Yes.
We are who we are. Y'all be who you are. We're getting the fuck up out of here.
Yes. Fuck.
My tongue, get what I deserve. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you.